What is up? How's the Legion of Comic Collectors doing tonight? Welcome to another episode of Fanboys Live in the Retro Review, the #1 DC Comics only live stream on YouTube. I, of course, am Tim the Comic Collector. If you're here, you already know who I am. Let me introduce you to the panel. Right over here, actually did it right the first time. We got Magic Lasso.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I'm excited to be here, and I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all of the Wonder Woman moms.
Wait, it's Mother's Day? No wonder my wife was in such a... No, I'm joking.
This all makes sense.
Down below, we have Tony Fett. What is up, sir?
What's going on, everybody?
And I always forget to say this, but I'm getting better. Links to everyone is in the description. If you do not know these guys, go sub them up for two reasons. One, they have great content. And two, if you like this show, it rotates between all of our channels, including ComicFoo 2814, who did not forget it was Mother's Day. And that's why he is not here. Before we jump into things, let's check out the chat. There's actually quite a few people. We got technical difficulties here. We got X11 Bravo Comics. What is up? Neil's Comics and Video Games. Thank you for coming. The nicest guy on the internet, Gene Malo. I know I probably just said that wrong. We have JG50. I call you Gene in my head, so that's...
It'd be tough. Everyone here. We should do a nice showdown between Magic Lasso, Gene, and Metarog.
No, because I'll lose. I will definitely be Mr. Replacement. Yeah. But a lot of these folks are coming from Super Russ's live stream earlier this hour. So welcome to all of you that came from that stream too. We're happy that you're here.
Yes, thank you. We probably all found each other on each other's streams. So thank you for supporting everyone in the community and my channel as well.
And support each other too. Don't forget to subscribe to each other.
So let's pretend like whether you're here live or watching on the replay, this is your first time at Fanboys. What we like to do is start things off with DC Comics news, and then we go into our retro review. And tonight, for Mother's Day, we are doing Batman Knight of Vengeance. You might ask why for Mother's Day? Because I racked my brain for a book in which we could see one of the big two's mothers. And this was the book that has it.
I'm surprised we didn't do the Superman Mother's Day special about Martha Kent.
Is there really one?
No.
Oh, okay. See, you got my interest peaked because I love those one-shots and stuff like that.
No, I just made that up.
Somehow I seem to remember that Wonder Woman has a mother that became a superhero called Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
True, but I don't have when I pick a story, I go from what I have on hand. You know what I mean?
You do have an impressive collection, though.
Like, if I was guessing Wonder Woman, I might not have the issues. I might not know. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Is Sarah Connor their best mother ever? She's definitely one of the toughest mothers.
She's up there. Have you seen the last one? She's pretty awesome.
Does Ripley from Alien count as a mother, even though she's a clone? She kind of took Newt under her wing. That little girl, Newt. Okay. Alas.
You're speaking non-DC. You lost me.
Alien and Predator, man.
What is up, Jackson Roy Kirk? Good to see you.
Everybody's favorite Kirk. The Jackson Roy variety.
I'm usually the one that ain't up on news, but I will start the news. And I actually heard about this first from my buddy Retrotigo. And that is we're finally getting a new Green Lantern animated movie. So, yeah, starring Jon Stewart. I should have wrote the name down. I forget it, but
yeah, I think I saw the trailer. It looked pretty good.
I also saw a post on Instagram that a brand new Constantine and the House of Mystery animated movie came out.
Yes.
And I went back to Walmart again and could not find it. I was disappointed. That just sounds like an amazing movie to me.
Yeah, everyone likes Constantine, and it's Matt Ryan coming back to voice Constantine. So it's nice to see DC showing love to these actors. You know what I mean? Both on the animated side and the live action side. So, and I think now when I read Constantine or hear about Constantine, I always think of Matt Ryan Constantine. And that just goes, that's a true testament to his talent as well. So yeah, there's that.
I don't think they've ever made a bad, like the animated movies they do is the best thing DC's doing in my opinion right now. And I mean, I've been disappointed in a couple, but I wouldn't say they were bad. You know what I mean? Like they're either slightly underwhelming or just fantastic movies all around.
Yeah. Speaking of comics, Black Label, huge one for Green Lantern fans. DC Black Label is giving Blackest Night a Black Label treatment. I don't know if it's unclear at this time if it's just going to follow around Necron or be some kind of bubble within the Blackest Night event. I'm not sure, but
are we sure it's new?
Oh yeah,
I know
it's new.
Black Label like reprint stuff.
This is going to be an all new stuff. And the generic placeholder they have is Necron hugging the Bruce Wayne. What's the word I'm looking for? Headstone.
Oh yeah,
that's the word. Yeah, that's just the generic one right here. But it's coming out in August, which would be cool. Everyone likes DC Black Label, so that's pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to that.
I want to know like what the deal with Black Label is, that they're putting these series out and then all of a sudden there's huge gaps. Because that's probably my favorite thing comic wise DC's doing is the Black Label books. Like for instance, I think this week or next week we finally get book 3 of Get Joker. Well, that was
right.
6 or 7 months.
I think it's paper issues with being able to access enough paper quantity.
Sure, that makes sense.
See, I would almost prefer then, instead of starting all these different ones, like finish them first. You know what I mean? Like Catwoman, Lonely City book 3 just come out, and I think it's August before book 4. I mean, you know, that's just me.
The Historia had huge gaps in between, although Historia had been delayed for years. Issue 1 was delayed for years. I'm talking like 3 or 4 years from when it was announced, before issue 1 finally came out, and then there were several months between 1 and 2. And
I actually thought it got canceled. Like there was so much time I thought it was canceled, and I saw it was out. Like I'm planning to order it. So
still not as big of a gap between when they announced Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson playing Black Adam to the Black Adam movie.
He might beat Doomsday Clock.
Yeah, right. Yeah, George Perez passed. So
oh my god, that breaks my heart.
These legends they're dropping like flies. And I gotta call out something that's kind of bothering me about the Neil Adams passing and the George Perez passing. I see it on both. Obviously, people are sending condolences, which is good, especially with these two powerhouses in the comic book industry. And all the other legends, I would call them, are putting up these huge posts or even commenting on that person's social media, expressing condolences. One thing I noticed is the lack of new generation writers and artists that are up and coming. Didn't really say anything, didn't have a social media post, didn't express condolences on their social media or the passers' social media. It's been absolute radio silence from them. And that's sad. That's sad because without them, they wouldn't be where they are. Because they not only they trailblaze, but they pave the road. So that's shame on you.
You have to respect the legacy.
You absolutely have to respect the legacy. Big time.
I haven't posted anything on social media. Not that me posting means anything, but George Perez especially is heartbreaking for me. Like many other fans, when you hear fan stories, you don't hear a negative one about George Perez. You just don't. And I know that there's nothing that I can say that will truly do him justice that it needs. One thing that I take comfort in, they offered fans the chance in March to send 1-minute videos in if they were positive in nature. And I did that. And they said that he watched those videos and really enjoyed them. So I had a chance to say what I wanted to say to him. And even though I don't have a reply from him, he saw it. And that means the world to me.
And I forget, what was his diagnosis? Did he have some kind of cancer?
It was terminal cancer. What, esophagus, was it maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
They gave him 6 to 12 months, and he lasted 5.
It's the doctor's fault.
Last week we were talking of Neil
Pancreatic.
Adams passing, and I even said that was someone I had less of a connection with.
Yeah.
Well, George Perez, not only do I have more of a connection, it's really been something that's come on in really the last year or two, because I really got into Titans, Deathstroke, and then even sort of with Neil Adams, you start realizing just how many covers you have of him and just how much he did that you didn't even think about. And it's like, I guess I'm starting to feel what the Neil Adams fans that really knew Neil felt last week. Like, man, I didn't know him personally, but as a professional, what a loss to the industry, what a loss to art. It's crazy how much he impacted just DC Comics. So
last week I said that Neil Adams was a Mount Rushmore type artist. Well, so is George Perez.
Yeah.
So pancreatic cancer, yeah.
And Neil Adams was active like right until the end too. So
yeah.
And he was still taking commissions. And if you look at especially his Instagram, you could see on his hands, they were all bruised from whatever type of treatment he was getting. But he was still drawn away with his hands in the condition they were in.
You knew when that I forget where it even was, but that last big signing he was going to do that he really cared about got canceled. My first thought was like, oh man, that's probably worse than you're thinking if they're canceling that.
Yeah.
So,
I saw earlier this week, they said that he was sleeping a lot, and I thought to myself, that doesn't sound good in that situation. That from what I've seen and experienced or know of from other people too, it generally seems that when they start sleeping a lot, the time is nearer. Yeah. And it was the next post was he had passed.
Dang, what a shame. Hoping that they could have been around a lot longer.
And for our George Perez fans out there, I'm going to show something from him during the book show at the end of the show tonight.
I've got a couple of book shows with them in mind. So we'll check that out when the time comes. But absolutely, it's been a rough week or two. Especially
pretty much exactly a week. All of that in 1 week's time.
Yeah.
So hopefully, knock on wood, that we don't have any more.
And there's this amazing jam piece that's coming out that I'm sure you guys have seen, with all these different artists paying tribute to George Perez. And this is going to be in all of the DC comic books in June, because June is his birth month, and they were going to celebrate his birthday that way. I'm sure they're probably changing that into a memorial now. But they show the characters that he's most associated with, and all these different artists did tribute, and he's in it too. And it's an amazing piece. It will actually be the cover for Dark Crisis #7 too.
Oh, nice.
You know what I wish they do? That would be a lot of fun. They had Neil Adams parody his own covers one month. Yeah. Why not have people parody George Perez covers, and it'd be like the B cover?
Yeah, that would be
month. That was one of the things New 52 did great, was the variety of themed covers. So that'd be a great way, maybe even give a percentage of money to the family or something off that.
Or some kind of cancer research or something.
Yeah, charge $1 more for it.
I'd be okay with paying $1 more. Heroes Initiative or something. It's a shame. And you know what? To all those people out there who immediately threw their books up on eBay when the passing was announced, you're part of the problem, because you're trying to profit off of someone's death.
I've noticed that with starting with Neil Adams, you immediately see the famous, more expensive covers and signed books
Oh yeah,
going up for way more than they've ever been before.
it was interesting because like as soon as I got the announcement that he passed, my eBay was exploding with Neil Adams suggestions.
You know,
And they were ridiculously priced, like way overpriced. And it's a shame people do that, but the only way they'll stop is if we stop buying them. But that's a whole nother episode. This episode's taken a wrong turn.
So let's transition back to the lighter side. Do we have any more news?
I think so.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet.
So before we transition to the retro review, I have got a chance to read newer books. Are either of you reading some of the event stuff like Flashpoint Beyond or anything like that?
Yes.
Yeah. It's sort of timely. Another reason I thought this was a good pick is with that series going on, seeing the origin of Flashpoint Batman.
And I have a preview, a book show preview. Wow, as soon as I can figure out what's going on here. Okay. Let me see. Where is it? It is right here. I picked this bad boy up. It is Flashpoint Beyond C cover with the Thunder Kids.
Oh, cool.
All the Thunder Kids on there. Keep in mind, in this universe, Shazam is 7 kids, not just 1. For those of you who remember the movie or the story, if you kill one of these kids, he can't exist anymore. So, and Wonder Woman found that out.
Wow.
But I thought this cover was pretty cool. I picked up $15. Not bad. I like it. It's very cool.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. I thought you was going to show the book you was talking about you got on Free Comic Book Day.
Oh yeah, I got that too, actually. So yeah, we'll put that back right here. So everybody got, or not everybody. Hopefully, you guys were able to get Dark Crisis 0 on Free Comic Book Day, and whatever it says special edition. I don't know what's so special about it, but I did manage to pick up again for nothing the limited foil variant of this, which is
wow. You got that for free?
Nothing. Picked it up for
Who'd
nothing.
you knock down to get that one?
None. If you donated X number of cans of food, you got one.
Really?
Yeah. So
well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Our local food bank, it always partners with comic shops, and you're able to get one, which is cool. So I got one. Cost me nothing. Very happy to have it. Very exciting. So you got these 2 bad boys. It was super Free Comic Book Day for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a good comic book day. Hope everyone is able to get out there and support the local LCS.
Alrighty, well, I guess that's all of the news for this week. We'll transition over to the retro review. And was it Tony going first?
Oh yeah, I should probably bring that up. It's one of these. Yep, here it is.
Yeah, I got issue 1.
Yep.
Hold on, let me. I won't be able to see you while I flip through.
That's
so
okay.
Just go ahead and let me get rid of the
get rid of that ad.
Victoria.
Why not? Okay, so this this is Dave Johnson on the cover, for those of you who don't recognize the art. So very cool guy, really cool up and coming artist, in my opinion. Not up and coming because he's been in the industry for a while, but they're starting to use him more, is what I'm trying to say. And that's only a good thing because, like I said, he's pretty cool, very fun to talk to. So here we cut to Bruce Wayne inside his little casino getting what looks like some kind of therapy or whatever.
Not Bruce Wayne.
No, Thomas Wayne. I'm sorry.
Wayne.
Thomas Wayne inside his casino, getting some kind of psychiatric treatment, which I got to ask, is this supposed to be Harley Quinn or Dr. Quinzel, I guess?
My first thought was it was Barbara Gordon, but then you find out later she don't exist in this universe.
Yeah. But I think it's Dr. Quinzel, but whatever.
It might, yeah.
But whatever he's trying to do, it works. He gets a a big passing stamp on his paperwork. And then we cut to the gambling commission is giving him his license or whatever. And I think this is supposed to be Cobblepot. Is this Penguin?
Yep. That's Penguin.
Okay. Perfect. As I say, it doesn't say right away, so I was a little confused. But yeah, so the Penguin is there handing out gambling licenses. So they get that taken care of. As they're exiting, he gets into the limousine with Detective Jim Gordon, and they're talking about a current situation that some lady has her kids taken from her by the female Joker.
It's Harvey Dent's kids.
Harvey Dent's kids, yes.
Because this is actually the repercussions of the story is where Flashpoint Beyond begins.
Yes. But yeah, Harvey Dent and his wife had their kids taken by Martha Wayne, the female Joker in here, Bruce Wayne's mom. I'm going to cut down to a little bit here. Batman is actually going to attempt to take care of things. He's going to first descend into the sewers. And in my opinion, this is where the story gets awesome. So he's down in the sewers. He's looking around. He finds some human bones. And the deeper he ventures in there, he sees Killer Croc hanging out there. And he hears these cries for help. And it's Killer Croc's victims. He's been kidnapping people, lopping off of their limbs, keeping them alive.
That's his version of a refrigerator.
Yeah. So you can only imagine how bad this is. So Killer Croc actually comes up behind Thomas Wayne with a machete, takes a swing. Batman was able to block it. Killer Croc was able to wrestle him down underneath the sewer water. So that's, real good. Thomas Wayne is having a flashback to him, his wife on the night of the shooting. And it gets him real angry, and he's able to channel that anger into some strength and gouge out one of Killer Croc's eyeballs. Right after that, Thomas Wayne just jabs the machete into Killer Croc's head, killing him and saving the people. Finally, we cut to Martha Wayne somewhere with the children, not her children, talking about getting ready to play games in house or whatever, waiting for his arrival. And that brings up issue 1. So
that's the lesson for today. If you forget Mother's Day, this is what happens.
Martha Wayne will find you.
That's right.
Now let's see if I can switch issues. Still new to the this part of it, guys. All right, there we go.
Okay.
One thing I have to say, the art is fantastic in these books.
It is.
Yeah. And these are very easy reads too, but don't think that just because they're an easy read that there's not substance to the story.
Another awesome Dave Johnson cover. One thing I if you scroll down to the first page, towards the bottom, it says Batman created by Bob Kane. Just right there.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere. Not in the credits, just right there on the first page, but whatever.
Yeah. Okay, so we're picking up once again at the Wayne Casino, and Penguin is on the telephone while he's walking through the casino. He's talking to Jim Gordon, and Jim Gordon is telling they're kind of checking in on Thomas Wayne, and Jim Gordon tells the Penguin, he says, he meaning Thomas Wayne, he asked yesterday if I could change the world, would I do it? You think he meant something by that? And they're like, well, what do you think he could mean? And Jim Gordon's like, I wasn't doing enough. And Penguin's like, no, you're his best friend. He's like, but what I really meant to call to tell you is I'm about to go see Oracle. And she thinks that she has a lead on the Joker. So we cut there to Jim Gordon going to Oracle, who, of course, you assume at first would be Barbara Gordon, but you're going to find out in a moment things aren't exactly what you think that they could be. So Oracle, and we're not seeing Oracle's face at this point, is saying that they pulled a security, this morning security pulled a floater out of the river. His eyes were missing. And they're like, is it a John Doe? And Oracle's like, no, it's John Randall. His wallet was in his pocket along with his eyes. And as we flip the next page, we find out who the Oracle is as she's questioning, why does the Joker still exist? Why is the Joker still around? Do you have kids? We find out that this is, who you might have guessed from seeing the cats around this person, this is Selena Kyle. Selena Kyle is the Oracle. And she's wondering why, Jim, is that monster still alive, referring to the Joker. And she says, you never had kids, did you? And he said, no, or a wife. You know, time kind of got away from me. And she starts to say, well, when you have those things, Thomas, we'll do everything to make it right by then, but it's never right. Never, ever. So we're assuming here that she has children that are lost, possibly because of Joker.
Real quick to cut in, one thing I love about these Elseworld stories, part of the fun of them, if you're watching along with us, is seeing the differences, like seeing Catwoman as Oracle and what we're going to find out the origin of this Batman is. It's just, this is one of the better well-done stories, in my opinion.
So now we have Commissioner Gordon talking to Thomas Wayne. He's filling Thomas in about the fact that, you know, Oracle said that they found this person that looks like a Joker's MO, and he's checking in, is it one of Harvey Dent's kids? And it's like, no, it wasn't one of those. And Commissioner Gordon, James Gordon, is right outside of Wayne Manor, it looks like, and he's starting to go in to Wayne Manor. So we cut then to what is actually happening inside of Wayne Manor, and we see these two little children who are the kids that are missing, the Harvey Dent's children, and we see that someone in this shadowy figure is talking to them. It is the Joker, and Joker is taking a piece of tape and covering their mouths, and the kids are crying, they're scared, obviously. And then we cut over to the Batman. This is Thomas Wayne, and he's in a bar, and he's looking for answers. And he wants to know, who knows how this eyeless body got put into the river? Who put it in there? And he's starting to harass some of the patrons. And I think the patron that he's harassing is Bullock. And the bartender's like, you know, he's not the one. He didn't see anything that night. He was passed out when the Joker came, because the Joker arrived apparently that night with a pizza, and he delivered it to everyone. And the ones that ate the pizza ended up having some problems. Specifically, this bartender takes Batman down into this basement cellar area to show one of their employees that ate a slice of the pizza, and that person has kind of become Jokerized. And the bartender's like, what do you think we should do for them? And Batman's like, there's nothing anybody can do other than blame me. And he walks away. So Batman is now on the move. He's checking in with Oracle. And he's filling her in that it seems that he was tied into this pizza that Joker delivered, that the people that ate the pizza are the ones that went mad, and same that John Randall, the one who got fished out, ate a slice of pizza, as I mentioned. And they said, well, we need to inform James Gordon, and Batman's like, his phone is off. So now we cut back to Wayne Manor, where Jim Gordon is going through. We can see Wayne Manor is not lived in at all. He's hearing some noises, so he's creepily kind of coming up the stairs and looking around, trying to get to the source of the noises. And he realizes that Joker's in this room with one of Harvey Dent's kids. So he waits a minute, he positions himself, he gets ready, he fires a shot. And what he realizes what he's done, it wasn't Joker, it was the other Harvey Dent child that was dressed up and put on a chair and tied to a chair to look taller, holding the guns that were strapped to them, and he just shot the other child. He realizes what he's done, and he's like, don't die, please don't. And he starts, he wants to save this child, when Joker comes up behind Jim Gordon and slashes his neck. So then we cut back to Selena Oracle, and she is informing, Batman to head to Wayne Manor. That's where he's headed to. We see that we have James Gordon still with what little is left of life that's left in his body. He's trying to reach for his gun, and as he goes for it to try to stop Joker, who's recording all this, by the way. Joker has the upper hand, steps on the gun, so Jim Gordon can't get to it. Batman has arrived at Wayne Manor. He jumps out of the Batcar, and he's yelling, "What have you done this time, Martha?" And we see that Joker is Martha. She's killed 2 people, and one of Harvey Dent's children remains alive, to be continued in issue 3.
I'm going to flip over and check the chat. I see we got Connor here. There we go. I collect a lot. What is up? Yeah, it's a straightforward story, Jackson, but it is a bit in your face. Oh, I see we got Warlord up here.
Why did I say that name? Hey, Warlord.
All right, I think I caught up on everyone. So I'll flip over for issue 3. And this is sort of an ultimate way to tell Batman's story. A great new way to tell it. And we'll get the full story here. So Batman's coming into Wayne Manor, and he's taking account of what's happening here. He sees the kids, he sees Jim Gordon, and of course he's talking out loud to Martha, but he's trying to help the kids out, doing some work on the girl. And the girl says, "I'm cold," which we flash back to, I believe in Tony's issue, we saw a little bit of it. The famous night with Joe Chill, only instead of Thomas and Martha dying, Bruce is the one killed. So in this world, that one change made Thomas become the Batman. And we'll see it eventually drove the mother crazy to become the Joker. So just basically you're seeing Bruce's death here, trying to revive him. You know, he of course is a doctor, but can't. And right here, from trying to revive Bruce, he has some blood on his face that Martha notices. That's important. So we flash back to the present, and we see the Joker just beating on Batman, who's trying to get these kids out. And it really is the Batman trying to save these kids, but it's almost like the spousal fight that's been going on for all these years at the same time. And we flash back, we see she's been having therapists. She's not accepting it. And he's like, you know, your smile's been gone. So then we flash a little bit more forward. We see Thomas paying people some money. He's in a seedy area. What is he up to? He has a gun, or I'm sorry, a syringe. He's coming up behind someone, drops it, and basically just beats this guy to death with his bare hands, as we're seeing a flash forward of the Joker beating on him with a hammer. He goes back home and tells Martha, like, we did it. You know, Joe Chill's dead. She's like, I understand. And she's cut her, you know, the sides of her lips, sort of in a similar way to we saw the blood on Thomas's face earlier. And remember, he said, you don't smile anymore. She's smiling now. So we flash forward again. Oh, real quick, we see her being took off by men in white coats. She's just wailing on the Batman while he's trying to get these kids out. And finally, he grabs her and pulls her out of a window. They fall to the ground, still arguing. And she takes off running. He's sort of reliving what happens.
She looks like Cesar Romero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I paused because I thought he was about to say the thing and he didn't, so I kept clicking forward a little bit to get to it. He's basically reliving the night, which makes her scream out. But this time he changes it to the story we know. The man and woman fall dead and their son lives. And he says, I have an opportunity here. And I need to know from you, Martha, should I do it? Should I change? This, of course, he's referencing things that are happening in the Flashpoint main series. And she says, promise me you will. And she basically asks, what does Bruce do after we're dead? This is what I was looking for. He follows in his father's footsteps. He's a doctor? No. And she realizes, he becomes the Batman. So she takes off running in a crazed state. And another ironic part of this story, she falls down the hole in which Bruce finds the Batcave in the story we know. What we would assume to, with all the bats coming out, her death. And that's where this story ends. So pretty straightforward. It's a quick read because there's so much action. But I was really trying to point out certain statements.
Okay.
Okay.
He left his own cat. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Who's
Hey, at least he finished the review.
That's true. At least he finished the review. Hopefully he can come back.
So, Tony, what were your thoughts on this 3-issue story arc?
This was good. This was a story that I wasn't familiar with. I've seen it once or twice in the dollar bins as a package deal, but nothing that.
Right. Sorry about that. In trying to take down the comic, I took myself down.
I was going to take over the show, and we're going to talk about whatever you don't like.
We're going to talk Marvel.
Yeah. But this is a story I've seen in the dollar bins, but I've never actually picked up. I might have to do this because I forgot Dave Johnson did a lot of the stuff, and I really enjoy his work. And he's an artist that I see on the regular, so we'll have to get him to sign some more stuff. Yeah, there you go.
Flashpoint is one of the mini crossovers that have a million crossovers. That, in my opinion, every single one of the minis is worth picking up and checking out.
Yeah,
even Convergence, I love the idea of it, but some of them aren't done very well. You know what I mean? Even though the idea is fantastic,
they're done very inconsistently. Yeah.
So, real quick before we get to our book show and channel shout outs, what's going on? We did manage to hit all 3 issues, so let's just give a quick review. What did you guys think of this, and what would you score it? We'll start with Ryan.
I liked it. At first, when I was reading the first issue, I was like, what is going on here? First, when I realized that this is Thomas Wayne and Jim Gordon knows the secret identity, I'm like, what is going on? And I quickly realized, that, okay, this isn't what we're expecting. And I'm like, well, it's Flashpoint Tide, so that probably explains it there. They're very fast reads, but as I said before, just for the fact that they're fast reads, and I don't mean that pun intended because it's Flash. Even though they're fast reads, there's still some substance there. And sometimes it's nice to let the artwork speak for itself. And each issue, I thought, really presented an opportunity for the artwork to speak for itself and to tell the narrative. I mean, sometimes you don't have to over narrative each story, and they don't. I enjoyed it. Out of 5, I'm going to go, for creativity wise, I'm going to go 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5?
Yeah.
All right, Tony, what did you think?
I'm going to echo a lot of what Lasso already said, but I guess I just enjoyed the cover art a little bit more than usual. And
it is classic, like this one with the poker chip. That's classic.
And I guess I never knew that Thomas Wayne, instead of Wayne Industries, he had a casino. Well, for whatever reason, I never clicked with me, but that makes sense now. But yeah, this is a good story. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 4 out of 5 as well.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was a little inconsistent in some of the art. Like we even have a comment, she looks like Cesar Romero. I thought the art on her when she was Joker at the end wasn't as good. Like the first issue when you're seeing Batman on the sewers, the way Batman was drawn was just classic and fantastic. And even some of the first times you see her as Joker, almost with her face in the shadows a little bit, and you're seeing like the smile in the dark, I thought was well done. But like I said, that to me, this is a classic. It's a great way. It's a great Elseworld story.
Absolutely.
A great idea. What if Bruce died and not the parents? I mean, that you got a winner right there. And Brian Azzarello is a great writer. Everything I've seen him do except for his Joker mini, Batman related, has been fantastic. So yeah, 4 out of 5. And like I said, I'm doing this a little bit as if you're a first timer to the show. This is the end of the show where each one of us is going to show something. We call it the book show. It could be related to the story. It might not. Mine isn't. Could be related to current events, which I'm sure Ryan's is. And while we do this, we're going to shout out our channels. Like I said, everyone, including ComicFoo, who's not here, is in the description. Sub these guys up. Check their channels out. And you can follow this show as it rotates on our channels. Next week, it is on Tony Fett's channel, I believe. So be sure to check us out there, and we'll throw it over to Ryan and go in the same rotation.
Sure. So last week too, if you're a Neil Adams fan and you missed Fanboys Live in the retro review from last week, it was on my channel, and we did a Neil Adams tribute where we reviewed Superman versus Muhammad Ali, that great treasury. So also on my channel this past week, on Friday, I dropped a cover by video, and it's Flash themed. So we looked at 2 different Flash comic books from the Rebirth era, and my friends, Comics for Thomas and Cookie from Just a Little Podcast, and I decide which out of these 2 covers, the A and the B, is the better cover. So you can check that out if you're interested. I think that's always fun. And then also this past week, I dropped Comic Book Editions Volume 100, where I unboxed a big boy book for my collection, and the most money I've ever spent on one comic book. So I haven't showed that yet on Instagram.
An epic book.
It is an epic, but it's one that you don't see a lot of people unbox this one. I don't, at least I don't. Maybe you guys do, but I don't.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone show that book.
So I was really excited to have this in the collection, and we already got 100 views on it, which made me happy since it was volume 100. But if you haven't checked that out yet, do so on my channel. That's what's already there. Tomorrow I'll be dropping a back issue of the week, like I do every Monday. And while this one isn't DC, I'll say it's tied to a particular superhero movie that just came out this past weekend. So you can learn more about this specific comic book on tomorrow's back issue of the week, a YouTube short.
That's a strange
on Tuesday.
Hint.
What's that?
I said that's a strange hint.
Yes, that's pretty strange. On Tuesday, I'll be dropping.
I just got that.
Yeah, I'll be dropping Comic Book Editions Volume 101. And I recently had a birthday, and some of my friends bestowed some birthday gifts upon me, so much so that I couldn't fit them all into one video. So Tuesday's video is part 1 of some of my birthday haul. And I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to get specific, but I'm going to get general, because this should pique Tony's interest at least.
Oh, geez.
I got some treasuries to show.
Oh, I love treasuries.
I got a treasury that I've always wanted to have that I never had too. So that video will drop Tuesday on my channel. And that's what's coming up. And for a book show, what I decided to do, I'm a huge George Perez fan. I made no secret about that. I had the chance to meet him at C2E2 in 2018 or 2019, I think. It was his first public appearance after announcing that he was going to retire from making public appearances. I waited in line 4 hours and 50 minutes with one goal: to meet George Perez and to get this bad boy signed. Nice. And this is Wonder Woman volume number 2, issue number 1. I'll do a close-up there for you. You can see I got it personalized too, as I wanted. And 4 hours and 50 minutes in line was so worth it. It was worth every minute waiting, because when it was my turn, he had such great energy. He was so kind. I got to ask him two questions that I've never seen him answer anywhere else. And I finally was able to ask him, and he answered both for me. And oh, such a awesome experience. And it's probably my best creator experience in the comic book industry of meeting someone. So that's what I wanted to show in tribute for him. And I love you, George Perez.
Awesome. You just made me realize a great book I could have pulled out and didn't even think of, my George Perez signature. So,
What book is it in?
Now you have to pull it out, man.
I bought this. I wasn't even into Titans yet. I've shown it on my channel before. I think it was $40 shipped. I got New Teen Titans Volume 2, Issue 1, signed by him and Mark Wolfman. It was like 3 years ago. It just, because I searched through, things ending. I'm like, oh, this is a good deal. And then as I got into Titans, it almost became like a Grail book to me because of how important they are.
That's the one that was direct edition on Baxter paper, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good cover too.
Yeah. So it's like I said at the time, it was just like, oh, this is a good deal. And then like I fell in love with the Titans, and have a lot of respect for him and Marv Wolfman.
You did good.
So what is up with your channel, Tony, and what do you have to show?
Oh man, what's going on the channel? Let's see, a whole lot of shorts, that's for sure. And
you Signature King and the Shorts King.
Yeah, right. I've just been trying to crank them out as much as I can. So you can see here, I have a whole lot of books that need put away. Just a whole truckload of books. So I think I'm going to do them into shorts. So we'll see. But on to the book show. I decided to do a Marv Wolfman, George Perez kind of salute. And I've shown this book before, but it's the only book that I have that has both of their signatures on it, along with several others. So this one I actually sent in for the last George Perez signing, and I opted not to get it slabbed, and thank God I didn't, because I probably never would have gotten him to sign it. So yeah, we have Neil Adams and George Perez on one book, and it's pretty cool, along with all of these other names on here. And one name I realize that's missing is Klaus Johnson. So still waiting on YouTube. Funny. So that's my little salute to those legends that have moved on to the great LCS in the sky. But the comic book industry definitely isn't going to be the same without them. So I'm happy to have both of their signatures on this book. And it's going to be a gem for sure. And I can't wait to, I think I'm done with this. So I think my next goal is to get this sent off to CBCS for some signature verification. And I know they're all legit. I collected them myself. So, and I priced that. It's going to be about $150 just for this one book.
Wow.
So it's not going to be cheap, but it'll be worth it. That's for sure.
Heck yeah. All right. So on my channel, I think this week, what did I do? I forgot what video I did this week, but I have a video up this week, and I did put out my third collection of my action figure shorts, which are little intros at the beginning. And I do have this week's Journey into Legends recorded. That will be out tomorrow or the next day. I can't believe I forgot what I did earlier this week. I did something. I think it was a tag video. That's right. It was my top 10 favorite keys. I was tagged by Connor. So I did that earlier this week. And I got 3 books to show. One is just for Tony. I recently
of course.
The Adam Hughes homage to Adam Hughes, Catwoman 51. And I've shown this on my channel a little bit, but why I'm showing it again, apart from Tony wanting to see it, there's a guy named Donna Comics on Instagram that showed me this book. I didn't know it existed. And that is Batman and Robin 23. And, I'm, collecting a Red Hood big this year. So getting a cool variant of him I didn't know existed.
That is neat.
Fill out the trio of those books. And then for my George Perez tribute book. I had got this out for that very video that I couldn't remember 2 seconds ago. And I thought this was probably my biggest Perez grail, and it's probably up there with that in the signature book. But I have New Teen Titans #2.
Nice.
PGX 7.5, a book I love. I always liked Deathstroke, but in collecting Titans, really fell in love with the character. So this has become an important book to me to get his first appearance. Oh,
very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was like Wednesday or Thursday. It's like, what did I do? I
feel like that every morning. Like,
yeah.
where am I going? Oh yeah, work.
It's like I remember the video I recorded today, but not the one I recorded 3 days ago. So that's it. I want to thank everyone in the live chat. A lot of people here tonight. Thank you to everyone who watches on replay. I know our show does well on all of our channels on replay. So even though we don't see you, we appreciate you. Remember, sub up everyone in the description if you have not already, so you can follow the show around next week on Tony Fett's channel. So be sure to check in. And with that, we hope y'all have a good week, and we will see you next week.
Happy Mother's Day.